The level could be your beginning, others are at the middle, others are at the end. So all these we cannot assume that learning is not taking place. But now tell your colleagues after now module one, which is almost complete for almost everyone. I think now the next group should come in the next cohort. So still urging them to register for the new cohort. I still have the energy to manage another cohort because I shared with you, I love this. I love this training. It just tells me that we and the many other people out there, we are co-creators with God, and we are teachers, and we got to mold what God has given us. And when I looked at all the talks there, one thing came out strongly towards the end of last month, at the beginning of this month, and that was how many units, how many modules are we going through? And I kept on wondering, once they got the recordings, hamukupata hiyo story ya how many modules we are doing. We are doing Joyce Omurwa, nimekuona, karibu sana. We were doing modules, 6 modules. That is what I said from the beginning. And the 6 modules do not have the same weight. The modules that have a lot of weight is module 1, module 2, and module 3, and partly module 4. Module 5 and 6 are not carrying a lot of weight, but at the same time, they're carrying the same marks as the other 4 modules. And in all this, what we require mostly is you to get a glimpse of where you need to be, of where you need to anchor yourself on. Like now we will be moving towards, after we start the module 6, module 6, we'll be moving towards module 2. It is about basing you on a theory. It will be about the theoretical framework. And that theoretical framework is very key. It goes very well hand in hand with module 1. It now gives you a ground. You know, become grounded in what you're doing as a counselor. It leaves you with, if I am using this, if I'm working with this proponent of this school of thought of psychology, it means that I'm now grounded on a theory. Because counseling is not just about, these are the skills, this is what we do. It's also about, we are scholars. It's also about grounding ourselves on a theory. It is about telling ourselves, when I'm dealing with such a client, this is the theory that speaks to me more. So to still be building on what we did in module 1. Now ask me where we are in module 6, which is supposed to be the last module. The reason as to why I've brought module 6 this early, it's because it's about our research. And it is good we start this research early. This one sikuharakishi. This one I'm assuring you, I will not be telling you that for you to move to the next level, you must complete this assignment. This will be a total discussion. It's about what is it that is expected of me, because in the final analysis, we need to work on a research. We need to look at an area of choice, an area that we are passionate about, an area where we need to bring a change. And that is why we've said that if it comes this early, I'll give you ample time of 4 months to work on that action research. So usiulize kwa nini tuarukaruka. It's not that you're jumping from one level to the other level. It's because this one requires ample time. It's not just about getting to class and learning. It's about you now going out there and checking around, checking where you are and asking yourself, what is it that I need to do? What do I feel I need? Where do I feel I need to bring a change? How do I feel I want my practice to speak to me? And that is why we've brought module 6 this early. Module 5 will also come early, but I'll be interchanging module 6 and module 5 together. Why is module 5 also coming early? And this will be done by an expert, not me. The reason as to why it will also come early is because we want to start our practicum with what we have. And so we also bring it early. By the time we are finishing the actual research, we'll also bring in the practicum. I know one person has already started his practicum, and I allowed him to start. I told him, even if we've not started with the others, just start the practicum. Feel free if you feel, because that's somebody who has been practicing. And if you've been practicing, why should I tie you to the time the module starts? So it is also good. I allowed that person to continue with the practicum. There's also another issue that I saw someone asking, and somebody was saying, after this, where do I go? And I said, from the word go, we said, we counselors. And so the reason as to why we took this course, first of all, is to build yourself. It's about you. It's not even about what you do with the course. It's about you understanding yourself and understanding. The moment you understand yourself, you're able to understand the person next to you. We're not telling you you've got to become a counselor. We are saying we are giving you an avenue of understanding yourself and understanding the people around you. And in the process now, you can see, do I want to get into this helping field? And if you want to get into this helping field, I shared with you from the beginning that KEMI is mandated by law, legal notice number 19 of 2010, that gave us a mandate to train in education leadership and any other course at a diploma level. And even at that diploma level, it means that with our legal notice, we have been mandated to do a training. And when we now start practicing and you want to be recognized by the counselors and psychologists board, the only thing we will give you that we are anchored on is our legal notice of 2010. Now that one will show that you just did not go out there, got into a school that is not known, and you did the learning. So don't feel like don't start wondering just after this how do you register. We will talk about how to register with the counselors and psychologists, and you get your membership, and you also get your license of practice, but at a fee that is paid by all the Kenyans, by all the counselors and psychologists in Kenya. When we reach that level, we will talk about it. So I don't think there's any other thing that I found that warranted a story at this moment. But once again, I'm imagining how the wall has been. There's a time it is up. People talk. Then there are other times it goes down. Then we come back again. Then it goes down. But all in all, I follow and I hear, I have done unit 6. Why am I not able to move to unit 7? And I see Aquila saying, there is a small assignment remaining. Do that one, and now you'll be able. Because we ensure that every person touches something, such that for you to move to the next level, you've worked on what was there previously. Why is it good? Because it is self-paced. It is you at your level. It is you and where you want to be. At the final analysis, those assignments will amount to something. Because you'll not move to the next level. You'll not be able to finish if you've not finished one area. But the zone of action research will be a bit different. The way it will be on the wall will be a bit different. It's after we finish all the learning that you'll now see what are the areas that you need to be looking at. And karibuni sana. As usual, you know my timing. We normally start at 5:30 on the dot. Today we were not able to start on the dot. We started at 8 minutes late. And I am promising you next week on Monday, we will not start 8 minutes late. I will not make you be late for whatever else you want to do. At the same time, you know our time of ending is 7. We normally finish it at 7. Even if it's written 7:30, hiyo ni story yetu. We finish at 7. I'm alerting Nicholas that he has got to ensure he gives us the registration form before 7. And before I continue, I want to let Kamau say hello. Nicholas, to Salimu, then we can move on.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Kamau.
Yes, my name is Nicholas Kamau. I'll be your ICT support on my end, and I hope we shall have a wise and wonderful class today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. Nicholas is saying he is hoping we'll have a full class and very lively class. We normally have very lively classes. Kamau, you've been with us for some time, and you know, tunakuwaga very lively. This is where we make all the noise. This is where we say anything that we feel it is good we want to say. At the same time, we take care of each other. So it is never a big deal. Even when we say things, we know at the back of our minds, we are telling ourselves, I'm taking care of the next person who is reading this or who is listening to this. Wala mmekuja tumechelewa, poleni sana kwa kuja mmechelewa, but karibuni sana. For me, I believe learning happens when I purpose to have it. Learning happens when I purpose to start. There's also a small group that I need to apologize to. One of them is Joyce Omurwa. I know what happened. That Joyce joined, somehow her name got lost in the mix. And so when we were starting module 1, she came when we are almost towards the tail end. But I was checking her progress, and I said, she is doing something. And so pole kwa hao ambao walisahaulika ndani ya mtandao, it was not what we would have wanted. We would have wanted wale walokuwa nao tulikuwa nao mwanzo tukamaliza na wao. So I still apologize for those who got messed up na system. So today, what are we going to do in this? There are two aspects. Before I share my slides, it's good I share with you what it is that we want to be looking at. One, we will be looking at a reflective practitioner. Why are we looking at that? It's because as counselors, we got to reflect on what we do on a daily basis. And that's why we're looking at the reflective practitioner. We want you to reflect on your life, reflect on what is happening around you, reflect on what else you would want to. And in the whole process, we want you to start writing a journal, to start working on a journal. And we will, by the time we're finishing this, we'll be seeing how this journal should be looking like, because the journal will be part of the assessment of this module 6. And we will look at different ways of how we want it to be. What do we want? Remember, we said it is about our growth. It is not about how well you can write a journal. It's about, does that journal speak to you? Does it make you grow? And that's why we've taken long with module 1, because it's not about going through a module. It's about that module speaking to you. It's about you internalizing what is in that module. Doesn't matter what you've got, but at least you've gone through each and every aspect of the module. Those who are still on, feel free, it is still okay, self-paced. Endelea, usijisukume hivi kwamba unaumia. Jisukume hivi kwamba unasoma. You're getting more information, getting more knowledge, and also forming communities of practice with you. So after we look at the reflective practitioner, we'll now come into inquiry-based learning that will culminate in an inquiry-based action research. Why will we have the two in one module? Why will we have two assessments in one module? The reflective journal or the reflective practitioner makes you someone who reflects on what is happening throughout. You're checking on what is happening to you and happening to the people around. And when you're looking at this, we'll also be telling ourselves, who am I? You'll see that we will get into a bit of work that will come later in another module, because we will touch you as a person. We will want you to self-reflect, look at yourself, and assess yourself and where you are. Because by the end of the day, you as a counselor, it's always good to reflect on yourself and keep on asking yourself, where did I do this? What does it mean for me? Why did I do it? how does it affect the other person next to me? And now on the journal, no, that's not the journal. And now the inquiry-based action research will be, I have picked an area in my place of work. Doesn't matter where you're working. I've picked an area. I have seen something that is bothering me. I inquire into it. I question myself. Eventually, I look at that area, get a topic on it, and I research on it. And we will give it 4 months plus. Remember, we said it's flexible. We will talk on the way and see where we are. And before we go very far, before I share my slides, kwa chat, andika how those 2 months on your own have been. Just for 5 minutes, or just check that for 5 minutes. Just say how it has been. The 4 months. The 2 months, sorry, the 2 months that we've been doing the assignments, how have they been? Weka tu kwa chat. Shadrach Diwa, to him it has been very engaging. I can tell from the stories on the wall, I can tell it was engaging. Penina was really engaged. Bimwendia anasema yake ilikuwa, anasema it was challenging since now I'm still at 97%. Bimwendia 97%, you're doing very well. Then Ngatudia Secondary School is saying very engaging. So interesting. Polly, mine has been wow. I've really learned a lot. I feel different. Oh, thank you, Polly. I'm happy for you. Elfaz Otieno, it has been good. I got enough time to complete my assignments. Wow, that is very good, Elfaz. Florence, for me, it's been very interesting and nice. Oh, thank you. Joyce Omurwa, the 2 months have been insightful and interactive. True. And Kananu, excellent and engaging. Techno, I'm getting to learn a lot about people's behavior. True. Nelly Chepkeboy, engaging. I enjoyed learning. Maggie, it has been great reading and learning new things. Wow. Very challenging. I'm at 84. Gabriel Bayer, 84 is good. Mativo Steve, very busy indeed. Charles, the crossword puzzles, amazing. They were amazing. Some of them walikuwa wananipa kizukuzuku. Peter Kefa is saying that I really learned a lot. Hussein Sheikh, how is Mandera? He's saying challenging due to poor network. I hear you, Hussein. I hear you. I'm imagining you've gone out of your way to manage to do something. That is Divina Kimunto, very engaging, but I'm new. Divina, you are not new. If it was engaging, you're already in. Tutasonga pamoja. Kelvin Apio, how are you? It was wonderful. I was able to go through the notes. I did the assignment. I was happy to know and learn a lot. Thank you. Mushirian, very engaging with assignment, but learning a lot. Quite engaging and constructive for Anna Muhisia. Bramwe Haemba, engaging and an eye-opener. Jezobech, very engaging but interesting. You can hear the words, you can hear. And for Shadrach Chalo, it was therapy for myself. You can imagine what that means. That it is like you're going through therapy by just having, going through the work. Caroline Wandere, learning new things in counseling have been fruitful and inspiring. Karaoke, mine was very engaging with some challenges here and there, but still perfected with time. I am learning. Thank you, colleagues. Rose Nyandigisi, Rose, how are you? Good evening. I joined later. It's been engaging, trying to catch up. Don't worry, it's never late. You'll manage, you'll still catch up with that. So thank you so much for those comments. The thing that is standing out is it was very engaging. That one is standing out. very engaging, very challenging. You have been on. Hakukuwa na kabreki hata kadogo. But thank you so much that you've been there. Learning is a journey. When we talk about lifelong learning, these are some of the things we are talking about. Lifelong learning. I find myself learning throughout. Even now, there's a class I finished last week, and I was asking myself, but you find there's always a nudge. There's always something you feel you've not done. I was looking around and I saw a course, and I said, I think I want to do something about this course. Even you, when we talk about lifelong learning, these are some of the things that happen to you. And these are some of the things that we will be doing all along. You'll find by the time we finish this, you'll be wanting to continue. You'll be wanting to learn more. You'll always want to do better in that field. And I think I shared with you from the beginning how I got into psychology and counseling. I just wanted to know myself. In the process of knowing myself, I knew my neighbor. In the process of knowing my neighbor, I decided I can talk to the neighbor. And it became something that I love and something that I work with or through. So I'll do the introduction today of just what reflective learning is all about. And then we will still have the same next week when you'll be looking at what will be expected. I sent a program. That program is not cast on stone. It's a program for me to see the pace of the hours. Does not mean that we'll be meeting every Monday. From that program, we can have one like the next 2 Mondays. Then from there, we sit and start working on the journal. When you're working on the journal, we will now come back and talk about the inquiry-based action research. And now we do it like 2 more weeks. Then I leave it again with you to say, are we able to craft a question? Are we able to collect data? Have we collected this data? You interpret it. What does it mean? By the end of the day, am I making meaning of where I want to be in counseling? So those are some of the things that we will be looking at. Some of the things that we will be talking about all along. And I'm telling you, to me, it's going to be very interactive. I will want you to say something. I want you to talk. I will want you to, to say something. I will want you to talk about it. I will want you to say, what is it that I want? What do I want to look at? So as relaxed as we were, it's also good to see this is what we will be working with in Module 6. And that is Introduction to Inquiry-Based Action Research. And don't ask me why. We are starting with inquiry-based action research, and I'm talking about a reflective journey, because it is from those reflections that we will be inquiring into the area of research that one would want to embark on. I will want that to come out clearly, that the module itself is Introduction to Inquiry-Based Action Research. But you're starting with reflective learning, reflective practitioner. Because one thing is, as you reflect as a practitioner, it informs you of what are some of the areas in my area of work that I would want to see a change. Because action research is all about change. Research is all about change, wanting to know more, wanting to understand where we are. And you're looking at it from this perspective, from questions to impact. We will be inquiring, reflecting, and working on it, but we want it to be from the questions that we're asking ourselves. Impact. All those questions, what impact will they have? And let's say, for example, I'll use teachers because I'm a teacher. I am in school. What are the issues that are around my school? I know I question a lot, but now we want to see your impact in that area. We want to see what is it that you've done? What is the impact that can be seen there? Because that is the impact that talks about what you're doing from the word go. We want to see people talking over, this is an impact idea. This is the impact that this course has had on me as a person and on the school where I am learning, or where my learners are, or where I am working from. And so we're telling ourselves that inquiry-based research is a learner-centered method. It is focused on exploration and questioning. That's what I started. It's about you questioning things that are happening around you. Question them. Curiosity. It is not that you already have a predefined topic that you want to be talking about. You're curious about the things happening around with your learners. And even where you are now, if I brought it up and asked people to start talking about the things that they want to inquire more about in their schools, you will find very many answers, very many things. You find people are inquiring every time. And so we'll be emphasizing on identification of a problem. Even in this, when I talk about a reflective practitioner, I'm talking about someone who is already thinking of an issue. You're reflecting on what is happening around you. And so you're in a position to identify an issue, identify a research question. Start asking yourself, what change would I want in my area? What change would I want in my school? And when you're asking yourself this question of what the change you would want in your area, you're already telling yourself you're forming a question. We have issues with learners with learners in our schools. Let's say, for example, in grade 9, they're expected to sit for the KJCEA exam. They proceed to senior school. And you're looking at the things that are happening around them, and you have so many questions. You're already asking yourself. And you're wondering, how do I help them transition? That's already an area. You just have a question you're asking yourself. How do I help my learners to transition? And you're already having an area of thinking where you can work from. And start gathering evidence from all corners. How do I help these learners? Check. What area would be very difficult for them to transition? So I'm just throwing the spanner to the works and seeing what is it that we need to do. How does it work? When you're thinking about inquiry-based learning, how does it work? Because I would want us to be in a position to be able to join inquiry-based research and that reflective practitioner. They are not two different topics. It is just one topic. All these, when you're looking at the reflective practitioner, we are gearing towards inquiry-based research. Just you're reflecting. And as you reflect, you already want to inquire and find out more. So how does it work? It works because it encourages critical thinking. It encourages discovery, encourages reflection. It's making you already start reflecting and wondering, what is it that I want to do? And then by the time you're finishing this, we'll be in a position to start asking ourselves, even now, by the end of this lesson today, you'll be asking yourself, what is this area I'm passionate about? What is it that I would want my learners to think about, to change? For me as a person, what is it that I would want to be working on? Help another person, help other people. And so knowledge is constructed through investigation. As you're already in school, you're already thinking about what you would want to do. Investigate, find out more. There are so many things depending on where you are. So many topics depending on where you are. Then foster intellectual engagement, creativity, and ownership. The moment you reflect and you get the issue that you want to talk about, you're already becoming creative. You owning the process. You become intellectually engaged, and you're already seeing a change, something you can bring. And so why does it matter? Whether I can do it or not, what matters? Why does it matter? Because it supports deep, meaningful understanding. As a reflective practitioner who is engaged in inquiry-based research, or what you're doing supports deep, meaningful understanding. Understanding of where you are, understanding of the people around you, understanding of what change you would want to bring to the society. Remember, even when we started record this word, there's a word we used to use with Joyce Omurwa. We were calling it, this diploma that you get is a community diploma. It's not yours. It's not about you gaining knowledge and keeping it. It's about you using the knowledge to benefit other people, to benefit your community. This is also a community, it is a community diploma. In yetu sisi wote, si yako. So it is a positive, meaningful understanding. And it's also effective in academic and practical research settings. Inquiry-based research is effective in academic and practical research settings. Settings are where? Where we are working from, the area we are at. And because we do not want to forget that we are counselors, we got to look at the counselor's toolkit as reflection meets inquiry. Remember, they are not two different areas. There's one area feeding into the other. And so, as a counselor, this is a toolkit that we need to carry, where reflection meets inquiry. You reflect, you inquire. And so, as a reflective practice, you have a continuous self-examination of experiences and values. It is you and your experiences. How are you experiencing life? What meaning are you deriving from your continuous self-examination of experiences, your values? And that is now a reflective practitioner. Then you come to the other side, you inquire. It's now a research. From this self-examination, it sparks curiosity. You look at yourself and your experiences, it sparks curiosity and problem solving. You start looking around. How am I perceiving my work at school as a teacher? How are you perceiving it? How are you perceiving the competency-based education as a person? If you'd want to understand it better, does it spark curiosity? Does it make you curious and you want to know more? Do you see an issue that you would want to solve? Again, for you as a counselor, as a reflective practitioner, you look at it as it improves counseling effectiveness and emotional insight. When you reflect, you improve your counseling effectiveness. Because you're always doing self-examination, always checking, always reflecting on what is happening. Even when you brought a case of a student and you're not able to handle it, you're in a position to reflect. You reflect on it. And so it will improve your counseling effectiveness, because the more you reflect on it, the more many questions emanate from it, and now you start wondering, and what is this issue that was brought to me? And so when it comes to inquiry, you're also seeing that it guides evidence seeking and real-world exploration. For example, Alana comes to you with an issue. It is about, let me still use a grade 9. It is still about grade 9 and the choice of schools. Remember, they're going to choose schools that they're going to join in a senior school. Already that is an issue that Alana has brought to you. And now you start also imagining, no, it's not only you who is not very sure about where the learners will be when they are going to senior school. And so it comes to your mind that what you know can guide evidence seeking. You go out of your way. How well prepared are the learners to join junior school, senior school? How well prepared are the teachers to enable the learners, the teachers in junior school, to enable the learners to join senior school? Already, it is already guiding evidence seeking and real world exploration, because it is in the real world. Soon our learners are going to senior school. So this is out there in the world. How do we work with it? Again, as a reflective practitioner, you also see that it is often fleeting due to school family demands. You're human. You have a family, you have school demands, you have your children's demands, you have every other person around you demands. And so you're reflecting as a practitioner that what is this that I'm going through with? My family demands? And my school demands? What am I expected to be doing in school? What am I supposed to be expected? What am I expected to be doing as a family person? And so when it comes to inquiry, so as you start inquiring, you start documenting what you're going through at work. What are your learners going through? What are the other teachers going through? What is the management going through? You start, it enables you to start documenting. That reflection makes you start documenting, and that documenting becomes critical for your reflection. And now for your next area of where you're going to research on. And so together, reflective practice and inquiry-based research, they can empower you as a counselor to grow professionally through critical reflection. You as a counselor, you can grow professionally through critical reflection. And at the same time, make evidence-informed decisions. Remember, anytime you do a research, it's because you want whatever decision you're making to be informed by research. You want it to be informed by evidence, to be informed by data. So you can see the two of them can work very well. And at the same time, by the time you're finishing this as a counselor, you'll be able to adapt effectively to client needs. You reflect on what you're doing as a reflective practitioner. And then when you start inquiring, what is it that I need to do? What more information do I need to get? And then you get into inquiry-based research. So this is what I wanted to bring out. We are not discussing two topics. The topic is still one, in inquiry-based research, but we are bringing in a reflective practitioner who is you. And so we do a short introduction on reflective practice, although I've already said almost everything. And because it is an introduction, you'll do the introduction, then the next one, it is you to tell me where you are. It is you to tell me what is it that you're thinking about as people, as reflective practitioners. And so by the time you're finishing this unit, we'll be able to demonstrate self-awareness in counseling sessions. And that is the key, self-awareness. And this is where I said, you'll find that when you're discussing self-awareness, and I think that will be now next week on Monday, when you'll be discussing self-awareness, you'll find ourselves going deep, you'll find ourselves getting into another topic that will come later as the learning is continuing, that talks more about your personality. We'll just delve kidogo so that we are able to understand the self. So we'll be in a position to demonstrate self-awareness in counseling sessions through reflection. How do you reflect? And this reflection makes you more aware of yourself. What makes you tick? What makes you angry? How do you handle the things that make you angry such that you're not able to bring the same things to the next person? Because if this is what I feel when someone says this about me, what when I am saying the same thing, the people about themselves? It makes you more self-aware that if I'm angry at this, it means if I use the same information to another person, the way I get angry, that other person can also get angry. And so it just brings in the issue of emotional intelligence. We'll also be evaluating counseling experiences for professional growth. We will be able to discuss about the experiences we're having as counselors, so that we're able to discuss about the episodes we've had in our schools. At the same time, we'll be telling ourselves it's all about professional growth. It's all about growth. Then we'll be in a position to apply reflective insights to improve client interactions. Reflective insights, always reflecting on anything that's happening around you. As a reflective practitioner, you're called upon to always reflect on everything that is happening around you and how it affects you. I remember when we started what I said, the very, very first lesson we had, that it is not about what has happened to you. It's about the reaction, your reaction. So we said it's not about the event. It's about how you internalize that. Think about it, what your conscious mind tells you, and then you start seeing from your point of view. So it's never the event. It's about how we internalize it and think about it. Again, we appreciate the benefits. We have to see those benefits because we want to grow and also be in a position to maintain a journal to support reflective learning in counseling. So we'll also be telling ourselves, why do we require a journal? Why is it important? Why do we require it? And so as a reflective practitioner, there's reflection. And even at this moment, if I just use these questions on you, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? So in that reflection, what are you thinking about? So we would want to see, to always keep on asking ourselves. For now, I'm thinking about my day is over, but even if the working hours are over, I am in the class and I'm thinking about it. I know someone could also be thinking about this will be happening every Monday for the next 1 month plus. And we are reflecting on it. How is it going to affect us? We're pondering on all that. We're pondering on the schoolwork. Sababu ni nyingi, especially now where we are. If you're in junior school, there's a lot that you're thinking about. If you're in senior school, you already know the things that you're thinking about. How watoto watakuja? Have we been retold as secondary school teachers that you are able to handle them when they come to senior school? At the same time, you're also pondering about your life. Because this is what a human is. A human being is all these things. You're also asking yourself questions about, And so I hope you're writing, we are telling ourselves this and you're already jotting it down. That is, what am I discussing with myself? With yourself. And it is one very good thing, discussing with yourself. And I know when you're alone, there's so many things that come to your mind. You think about them, you get solutions. Then you find those solutions are not enough, you start again. That's what reflection is all about. That's what reflection is all about. In all aspects of your life, you're always trying to work something out. And as a teacher, you are juggling between your school, your work, your personal work, kuna wale wamerudi shule, you're juggling between that, your family, all those things. And this same person, you're always trying to work out something. That is what reflection is. You're trying to make sense of things. Making sense of what is happening around you. Making sense of what the learners are going through in all aspects of their lives. Making sense of what you're doing with yourself. You're also learning from experience and you're reflecting on all those experiences. What are the experiences you've gone through in your school, in your home, in your personal life? What learning have you got from those experiences? Because an experience is not an experience if it has no learning. It is an experience because a learning comes out of it. And in all this, as we reflect, it helps us plan for the future. So today we are going to start reflecting on anything that's happening in our lives, in our minds. Even the negative things you tell yourself, because there are times you find things are so hard, you just start seeing darkness. And you tell yourself something. You want to work on that. What are the sources of reflection? These are some of them. There are many. Everyday events. Even it's being seated where you are at this moment, it is a source of reflection. Those who are already thinking about module 1, hawajamaliza assignment, that is an everyday event, something that is you're already thinking about, is a source of reflection. And you got to own it and let it give you a way forward as you still get, if whether you are stuck or not stuck. You're part of it. It's all about the positive experiences we go through. They are sources of reflection. And the positive ones are many, there are many. Even from when what you were writing on the chat about where we are so far, I could see people saying very engaging, very interesting, it has grown me. You know, those are positive experiences. And there are so many positive experiences, even the smallest. Like someone told me, even blinking your eye is a positive. And now I've come to appreciate all that. It is part of what for me. When I'm reflecting, I should reflect on all that is positive. And also the negative experiences. We cannot push them at the back of our minds. I remember when you're looking at the development of psychology, we talked something small about Sigmund Freud, and we said about what is it that he was talking about when he said about the unconscious. How does the unconscious come to the conscious? Or what do things go to the unconscious and we forget them? And we said because when the ego feels threatened, it takes care of itself. And by taking care of itself, it brings in defense mechanisms. And these defense mechanisms are the ones that are later come to haunt us because we don't want to see the negative experiences. It is human nature. We want only what is positive. Something that is negative, we do not want to have it. And so it's good to think about it and see what is it that we really need to do. Again, the eventful incidents, things happening around you, all the events that are happening around you, they are sources of reflection. People say you're the teacher of guidance and counseling in your school. And you find that anything that nobody is able to handle is brought to you. Na hata wewe mwenyewe hujui. And those are the things you think about. The incidents that happen every time. There are also the unusual incidents that happen around. You know, things have been happening very well, then all of a sudden something unusual happens. It should be a source of reflection. You need to think about it. Where is it coming from? What is it telling me? What are the descriptors of this thing that is, to me, is unusual? Others could be routine activities. What is it that I do on a daily basis? What is my routine as a teacher? Something that needs me to think, to reflect, and see how it impacts on my life. etc. There are many things. In short, what are we saying? Sources of reflection could be all that is happening around me. It's all about life. And if it is all about life, it means it is talking to me about where I am, where I want to do, where I want to be, how I need to move on. Like now, this is just an example. What might you reflect upon in day-to-day life? Just think about your day-to-day life. Acha tu maisha yao ya shule peke yake. Think about it. And you see what can I reflect about? If you're a person wa dini, check. What can happen to you and what is it and how do you interpret it? Like for example, I'm always late for work. You know, that's a statement. If you reflect on it, what does it mean to you as a teacher or as a worker? What does it mean to you? What are you telling yourself? Reflect on it. Write it down. Again, you've just come from holidays. That was a great holiday. It was a great one. What is it from that holiday? What is it about the Easter holiday? What happened? What was great about it? My car has turned out to be old. What does that tell you? And something to reflect about, but what does it tell you? What are you telling yourself? I've had a very productive weekend. You're just coming from a weekend. How was it? And there is this other one. Hii nafikiri ni yetu sisi. Hata tutasema ni ya nani. I keep running out of money before the end of the month. Where the month is longer than the money. And this is normal. You think about it. Reflect on it. What do you learn from it? Reflection is not reflection if there is no learning behind it. What you're going through does not work for you if no learning takes place. If there is no learning, it is useless. It's got to have some learning. And so for you and I, as trainee counselors, it's good to see that reflection will help us examine our experiences, thoughts, and emotions. Just critically examine. When you're reflecting, you critically examine. What is it? What does it mean for you? And you know now our reflective journal will start from where? To start from the time you started learning. What impact have you had in all that learning? What does it mean for you? And for a counselor, it's always good to critically examine your experiences. Because nothing small happens to you. Everything happening in your life is important. If your life moves. So critically examine those experiences that you're going through. Examine your thoughts. Because you know your thoughts, many a times, will affect your action. To critically examine your thoughts. Critically examine your emotions. Are they warranted? Yes, I feel bad. I felt bad, but reflect on it. Because when I say I'm feeling bad or I really felt bad about that, I didn't like that episode that happened. Then ask yourself, what meaning did you derive from that? That feeling bad, put something in it. Feeling bad is just feeling bad, but what is feeling bad? Put some words on it. I felt bad because this is not what I was expecting. I felt bad because I had given it my all. Then it turned out the way it turned. And there are many things that can happen, that can happen to you. Like someone confronted me with something that had happened some few months ago, and I was looking at it and I was wondering, was it beyond my means? What did I feel when it happened? Is it about the event or is it about my thinking? Is it about my internalizing the question that now the feelings come and I feel this one I'm being wrongly accused? You know, those are the things you're talking about. It also promotes self-awareness. It makes you know what makes you move. What makes you not be able to move? It makes you now look at your character with another eye. You know, you're looking at it is like you're putting yourself in a microscope and you're seeing what happens when I'm told this. I have always wanted to do my job and give it the best. And anytime someone comes with a notion that I never gave it my best, up to today, it still affects me. I still feel I gave it all that I thought I had. And then I'm very self-aware that when I'm criticized about the work and I'm feeling I gave it my all, I feel someone needed to sit and listen and get it from me, what I mean, what I felt. So same thing with you, to promote self-awareness. So I know the things that affect me, but not all. I still have very many that I do not know. When you're looking at Johari's video, we will see the things that are in the public domain, the things I'm aware of, the things I'm not aware of. And so with reflective practice, it reveals your personal biases and it identifies growth areas. And I find myself having so many growth areas to an extent I wonder, kwani growth hufika wakati gani? There's always something I feel I need to grow in that area. I'm not good at that area. You know, I identify them, and it is good to identify because you know you've already accepted. The moment you identify and put it down, you've already known it's an area. It also enhances decision making. Because in counseling, we still require a lot of decision making, and especially for us teachers, we require a lot of decision making. Because many of the things that happen in our schools affect the learners. And so counseling got to be effective by us making a decision about a learner, making a decision about something happening in school, making a decision about how we want the learners to move on. At the same time, not forgetting ourselves. And again, it also encourages ethical practice through continuous self-evaluation. And we were taken through this by Dr. Walter, and he talked a lot about ethical practice that we need to have as counselors. And when you look at those ethical practices, if we are able to abide by them, then we are able to move on. And in the final analysis, when you're doing the reflective practice, it will foster a habit of lifelong learning. You'll always find an area that you're not good at, and you still want to learn more. And in the process, you grow professionally. You always find yourself doing something. You always find yourself looking for points. And I always find myself trying to get into some evening classes to get CPD points. And I look at them and I say, wow, you find something new has been said. Kitu ambacho hujawahi sikia. And I see this is an area that I need to grow in. I need to check this. Again, for you and I as counselors, it will help us perceive challenges as unique and complex. Unique and complex, because the challenges are unique. Each and every one of us, the challenges you're going through, they are unique, they are complex, they are up to you, they are, to every person, whatever you get is unique to you, other than saying they're standard problems with ready-made solutions. And for you and I, sisi kama walimu, we always look at them as standard problems with ready-made solutions. Learners are doing this. This is how they are. That is all what learners do. This is what children do. But forgetting that they are just unique to the person, and they do not have ready-made solutions. It also encourages thoughtful, individualized approaches to counseling. When you're thinking about it, you make it more individualized. As a reflective practitioner, you think about it, you reflect on it, and you also see that whatever you're doing can be approached at individually with the learners, with the teachers, with the people you're dealing with, wherever you are. And every time you're giving a decision, you are able to give an informed decision through all this, because you reflect on it. Whatever is happening around you, be it somebody's case, you reflect on it. It makes you put it down, write it down, think about it as if it is your problem. You start seeing a way that you're able to make informed decisions. And so when you'll be looking at all this, we'll be trying to provide insights into what goes on in the minds of everybody around us and in our own minds. It also will help us raise questions. Why does it happen like it is happening now? And also you'll say, how do you work with all the challenges that you have? And challenges that maybe they start from your house, they come to school, they come to the people you meet around you, they come to the community, all those, and you'll be in a position to see what we can do. And so in all this, in the reflective practice, what is it that we want to look at? We want to be telling ourselves, the idea is to understand how you perceive a situation is based on your past experiences. So you reflect and you'll see that many of the things and the way we perceive them, they are all based on our past experiences. They're also based on the knowledge that we have and understanding. What knowledge do I have about something? It is, it makes me understand what I'm going through. So how you perceive a situation is based on the knowledge that you have. And so if the knowledge is not adequate, you know how the decision will be. And so it is for you and I to seek more information. Past experiences have taught us a lot. In fact, if we got a chance to talk to each other about our past experience, there are many. Past experiences are many. And they have really shaped where we are today and how we understand situations that come to us. And so when it comes to reflecting on issues, we are all different. Like now we had a chance and we were reflecting on the introduction to this learning. All of us, it is the same learning, but all of us will be looking at it from different angles because we have different reflections on the issues. And so the experiences we have gone through, and that is what John Dewey is telling us, the reflections we've gone through, the issues we've gone through, the experiences we've gone through, he's saying we do not learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on that experience. So you'll be talking to people and say, hey, hako nimekapitia. I have gone through that. But what did you, from that, what did you reflect on? Did you reflect on it? What answer came out of that? So it is, we do not learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on that experience. So keep on thinking about it. That experiences, I mean, you experience things, you experience a lot of things in our work, but you do not learn from those experiences. In our lives, we've experienced a lot. We learn from reflecting on that experience. When you reflect on it, now we are able to move on. Why? Because reflection will help you to understand what you already know. You will be able to understand what you already know, individual. When you reflect, you already know. You are reflecting on it, you understand what you already know. And you also understand what you need to know. Even if it is I'm dealing with the learners, even if I'm dealing with anyone, any other person, when I reflect on what is happening, it helps me understand what they already know. Always start from the known. Even with the learners, always start from the known. At the end, it helps you move to what they need to know. What they know, what they need to know, so that they are able to advance their understanding. And it should always be age appropriate. Whatever information you give, be it to learners, be it to any other person, should be age appropriate, situational appropriate. It is you to see and contextual. What is the context of all this? What do they need to understand? And at what level? What is their level of understanding? What can we tell them at this moment? Again, it will help you to make sense of new information. Any other information that you get, you are able to make sense out of it. And also you're able to make sense out of the feedback that you get. People give you feedback. And many times you're given feedback and you tend to know yourself. But it is not every time the feedback you're given is the truth. Also remember, someone can give you a feedback, but based on your relationship, the feedback you're given does not work with what you think you know. That's why you're saying reflect on it. It is feedback. Reflect on it. Why would someone look at you and give you a negative feedback? Reflect on it. Because remember, it is not about you. It's about the person. It's not about you. Someone tells you, I don't like the way you work. It's not about you. It's the person who doesn't like the way you work. I don't like the way you answer questions. It's about that person. They already have a set mind of how the answer should be. And you know, in our situations, in our work as counselors, we have people who are not able to work with any other person. They can only work with themselves because they believe they're always right. No matter what you tell them. So look at that feedback, reflect on it, and say, what does it mean? And at the same time, when we reflect, it guides us towards choices for further learning. When you reflect, you are able to learn to do better. It's all about you and what you're given. How you look at it as an individual. How you ensure it fits the context of whomever you're talking to, or even your own context. How you're able to receive new information, relationships with other people, the information they give. Everything that you're doing should guide you.
10 minutes.
You should grow, should move towards development. And so, according to Marcus, we're told, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thoughts. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thoughts. You as a counselor, what are your thoughts? Because they determine the quality of your life. And you know, there are times the thoughts are very positive, other times the thoughts are very negative. And even when you talk about them affecting the quality of your life, when your thoughts are negative, your quality of life is very. You find it is human nature. You find you're going down. When your thoughts are very positive, you also see that your quality of life is positive and you're able to move on. It's all about what you do. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thoughts. And we are counselors. And so as counselors, we got to know, what are the thoughts? What are we entertaining? What are we watering in our minds? And I'll repeat what I said from the word go, from when we started. It is not about the event. It's about how you internalize that event. It's about what you tell your mind. It's about what you're telling yourself. And it is from there, actions come. The feeling of feeling bad comes in, and you're not able to move on. So at this juncture, it is good to start asking ourselves, what are the personal reflection priorities? What are the priorities? What do I want to be thinking about at any one particular time? Time management. When do I want to do this reflection? When do I do it? When do I get a time to do it? Motivation. What is your motivation? What is your direction? What are your strengths and weaknesses? And how do I identify issues? And how do I get an action plan? It's all about you, me, and you reflecting all through. What are our priorities as counselors? Is it about time management? How do you manage our time? Especially now that we are teachers, counselors, club patrons, dom in charge, house masters, house mistresses, dorm masters, housekeepers. You know, a teacher, I think, can do anything that is brought their way. It's good to see when you're doing this reflection, how do I prioritize it? How is my time? How motivated am I? What's the direction that's taking? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses of what I'm doing? etc. Because from Kenneth Wofford, reflection is what allows us to learn from our experiences. What we have gone through, how do we learn from it? It is an assessment of where we have been and where we want to go next. Because for me to reflect, I must start from a situation of where I am. Where am I? And even the issues that have been brought to me, where am I when it comes to those issues? So that from there, it is about where do I want to go next? Where do I want to move next? And so as we conclude, I want to be coming towards the end of this. Remember, we said we are going to make it as flexible as possible for ourselves. We're saying it involves slowing down. Slow down. Pause and examine. Pause to examine what is going on. Analyze them. Inquire, because for you to reflect, you must first internalize what is it that is happening around you so that you are able to internalize it, to reflect on it. And it has got to be an active choice. When you're analyzing this, it is to be an active choice. You go out of your way. You tell yourself, this is what I want to do. So it is about something active. It is something you do on a daily basis, reflect on a daily basis. It's funny that this time you're insisting in a deep way. Just reflect on a daily basis about what is happening to you, and especially to you as a teacher and as a counselor and as a family person. It also involves cognitive processes. It's all about the knowledge. It's all about your mind. Analyze, synthesize, evaluate. Because most of the solutions that we think about, most of the solutions that we bring to any issue that comes to us, we got to cognitively understand, cognitively pick it, cognitively analyze it, synthesize these and understand where it is, evaluate. If there's a solution I think I should have taken, evaluate it. Does it fit me? Does it fit the other person? Does it fit the situation? Is this what was required? And there are many ways of reflecting. There are many ways of reflecting. Always have a, always tell yourself, what is it that I want to be reflecting on? And what is it that I want? Even we will not even go to our work. You as a person, things that are happening around you, how do you reflect about them? And because, as Margaret says, without reflection, we go blindly on our way. Because of whatever you meet, unapiga, unasonga, unaendelea. So if we do not reflect on what is happening in our lives, we'll go blindly on our way. As counselors, if we do not reflect on what is happening around us, what is happening within us, what is happening to the person, to you the person, to you the organism, what is happening to you, if you don't reflect on it, you'll move on and move on and move on. Njia yoyote ile itakufikisha. Move on blindly. Again, reflecting is a state of mind. It's all a state of mind. There are many learning styles that we can use for us to reflect, but it is just a state of mind. Not everyone is reflective. Not everyone is able to reflect and reflect keenly. Some do not reflect at all. So we are saying not everyone is able to reflect. People are different. We can start, because the beginning is very difficult, but we can start by restructuring time or scheduling time. Just have a time of when you feel this is the time I want to reflect. If you're a very active reflector, you'll just find yourself reflecting as you move on. Anything happening to you, you are able to reflect. Check on that one. But then there are those who have to have a structured time. I have a friend who does her reflective journals early in the morning. Akiamka, that's the first thing anaanza nayo. Wengine, it is as I move on and the day is happening, I get a chance, I jot it down. If I don't, I put it on the phone, or I don't. It always depends. The others who can use a journal, that they keep on journaling every day, and that is where we want us to move to, and we'll discuss it next week about using a journal, how to craft that journal, and how it will be, and what is it that you need to put there. It's about what you're telling yourself. And we have to also look at the ethical practice. What do we require from that? If you're journaling, it is about your inner thoughts. Would you want every other person to go reading about them? So we'll still have to get that area and see what is it that we require to do. But remember, we need it so that we are able to continue growing. And again, realistic assessment gives strength. This is where we say you put it down as a person. You as the person, you put it down realistically. Because that one is what gives you strength. Because it's about what you are able to do that will give you the strength. Move on. And you're told that the attitude of others towards you is the reflection of their state of mind. So what are we talking about reflection? You will be in a position to understand yourself and understand the other people. You'll also be able to distinguish between what is really yours and what belongs to the other person. Because many people, the way they reflect themselves towards you, the way their attitude is towards you, it is not about you. It's about them. It is their state of mind. And the moment you are able to distinguish this, then we'll be able to move on as counselors. People just come and tell you things, but it is not about you. It's about them. It's about their state of mind at that moment. It is what they are going through at that moment. And there are many people who do not know how to hide what they are going through, but it becomes everybody's business. And so it's good to remember it's not about me, it's about them. And so some of the benefits that we're going to get from this is we will be in a position to help create confident counselors, people who are able to examine themselves, dissect themselves, do a surgery on themselves, put it down, work on it, change it again, reflect again. It means that as a reflective practitioners, we will be confident counselors. It also encourages innovation, how you deal with your issues. You become more innovative. The moment you put your thoughts down, analyze them, look at what the other person has done, in your mind, you can now be able to be innovative in the way you deal with people, the way you deal with your issues. It encourages engagement. You cannot work in isolation. Engagement with the people, with self, and with the other people. And it benefits all of us. It benefits all of us. And in short, what we've said about this, the benefits of reflective practice is that this is the practice of periodically stepping back to ponder the meaning of what has recently transpired to us and to others in our immediate environment. It's all about stepping back, checking, and seeing what is it that is happening with me? What is it that is happening with the people around me? And when you're able to look at this, to look at yourself and look at the other people, you'll be able to provide a basis for future action. It will help you be able to move towards the future. This slide, I'll bring it later, not now, but I can just mention something about it. About a reflection action. It's about the context where you are. It's about the performance, about self-reflection. It's about forethought. What are we saying? When you are reflecting, you start by, when it comes to reflection in action, you talk about the knowledge for acting. I want to do this. When I go there, this is what I want to do. I will be doing this. I'll be working on this. I will be writing about this. That is, you'll be reflecting in the action, depending on the action that you're going to have. The forethought is all about knowledge for planning, actions, and imagination. You already have it of where you want to go. And that is where you reflect on it before you go for the action. I already know what I want. So your reflection before the action. So reflection for the action. And then there's also the when the action is happening. That is from the doing. I'm already doing it. What is it? But we'll bring it later on when you're writing the journal and tell ourselves to do. And so an approach to reflective practice, you're saying that it will enable us to recapture our prior knowledge. This one you have already said, it's just a repetition. It will help us recapture our prior experience. We will be able to think about it, evaluate it, look at the action that we took, and we look at the results that came out of it, reflect on it again, and start asking ourselves, do we need to move to other direction? Did I require to move that way? The more reflective you are, the more effective you are. Reflecting on all the actions that we take, the more reflective we are, the more we reflect on what you're doing, the more effective we become. As counselors, we need to keep on reflecting on the cases that are brought to us, the issues that are brought to us. We need to become more reflective, and eventually, the more effective we will be as we move on. So this is the reflective thinker. This is me and you. This is what we are. This is the journey we'll be taking. Start from here, you. This is me now, you. Revisit your experiences. Just think about your experiences that you've gone through. Does not matter the one you're going to talk about. Remember, we said it's about creating more self-awareness. So it is about me and where we are. It's about where we are going to move to revisit experiences. Examine your assumptions. I always have my own assumptions. Na ni mingi. This happened because it was supposed to happen. Nitajua hii haitatendeka. I know this will not work. I know they cannot give me this because of this. All these. Examine your attitudes, your values, and your beliefs. This is what you'll be doing, depending on which area you want to talk about. Again, when we reach the level of the critical thinking, we justify the actions that we solve problems, seek deeper meaning, and suggest change. We will still bring this up towards the end when you're talking about writing the reflective journal. And it is all about documenting our learning progress. And our learning progress affects our day-to-day lives. It affects what we do on a daily basis. So when we talk about a reflective journal that we are going to write, or we are going to keep, it is about accounting for our learning progress. As a counselor, what does it mean to me? And again, there is no right or wrong way of presenting it. It is you. It's about what you're feeling. Even if you're going to give a format, it is about you and your experiences and the way you feel. These are my personal experiences, and this is what I've been talking about. This has been an account of my learning journey. This is how I have been. But always, when you write this, write in first person. It's about I, it's about I, it's about grace. And also remember, it is a public document. If it is something you're presenting for assessment, it's a public document, and that's why we want this to only talk about your learning journey, your journey of becoming, a counselor. And so as you write, remember the people who will be looking at it, or even if you to share with the other participants, it is your journey. It is not their journey. So document what is important. Because it's not about a presentation. Even if I expect a presentation by the end of the day, it is about you documenting your learning journey as a counselor. And because we said we are all in the process of becoming, it is about where we want to move to, where we want to be, how we want to walk. We've not given the final verdict of how to write about it, but start thinking. Record an event and write it down descriptively. An event in your learning journey as a counselor. That is your step one. Record an event. Record the learning that you've gone through. Record all the topics you have gone through and start writing something. Describe it as much as you can. Reflect on it. What did it mean to you? Interpret it. What meaning did you derive it? And then conclude. What did you learn from there? How are you going to do it next time? It was just about the what next? What happened? So what? What am I going to do next? It's all about when I get what I wanted to do next, how do I move on? How do I make it work for myself? This will be my last slide, not today, but next week. So I will not use it today. We will use it next week, and you'll also, but I can say something about it, even if you're going to. We'll just be using a different approach to write this. This is generic. It means you can change and put it the way you would want it to be. This is just a model of a structured reflective practice. It doesn't have to be like this. It does not have to follow this format. You can follow any format, but you make that decision when we reach that level. Because working towards a goal gives you direction in life. Without goals, you keep running in circles. So even in this reflective practitioner, we want to work towards a goal of becoming a better counselor, a counselor who reflects, looks at what is happening now, looks at how it can affect another person, and they grow themselves as they move on. And that brings us to the end of our today's session. I just wanted to bring this idea of a reflective practitioner, because by the end of the day, that's what we are. We are reflective practitioners. Let's start reflecting. Let's start talking about it. Let's start writing about our journey of becoming. And our journey of becoming can only be accomplished by looking at what we have been learning. Then by the end of the day, we will say, when are we going to write this? How will it look like? How will it be assessed? And so even next week on Tuesday when we meet, we will just talk about a few things about self-awareness, and then we give the format that we are going to use as we move on to inquiry-based learning. And then remember how I joined the two, the reflective practitioner and the inquiry-based learning, where we say that as you reflect, you're already inquiring into making things better. Because remember, as counselors, it's all about making it better. Better at our level, because better has no other meaning. It can only be better at my level. And so, colleagues, thank you so much for letting me continue talking and for letting me today just give the introduction. The next session, I'll require more from you, because from there we'll be looking at it practically. What do we require to do? What makes you tick as a person? What makes you grow? What makes you want to move on? And I request Kamau, give us the link. Kamau. Admin.
Yes, I've actually posted the link.
Oh, you have?
Yes, the chat box.
Sawa, sawa. Thank you so much, Kamau, for that. And thank you so much for hosting us this evening, and looking forward to having you host us many more times. And also my colleagues, thank you so much. In this journey of becoming, you never reach, but we keep on striving to reach there. We can have a prayer from any one of us, or even something from any one of us. Kamau unmute us, na tukipiga kelele sana utuzime. A prayer from any one of us, or a comment from any one of us as we wind up. And karibuni sana for this round of learning.
Everyone is able to unmute themselves.
Sawa sawa, thank you. Tunaombewa na nani? Joyce. Joyce Omurwa, nimekutaja sana leo. Hoi. Bernard Mwangi, how are you?
Fine, thank you, Daktari.
Hello, Bernard. Hello, Joyce. How have you been?
I'm good, Daktari. How are you?
I am good. Long time.
Long time. We missed you.
I will come down. Mombasa si bali. Tulipata SGR. I will come down.
Karibu anytime, Daktari.
Sawa sawa, asante sana. And I still apologize for letting you join the class late. It just happened kwa mtandao. I still apologize for that. I think that's why I can't even forget you, because when you mess up the people who have known for long, you just imagine, and the ones who don't know, how far have you messed them? So I still apologize for that.
I'm almost done. Thank you. Thank you.
So. Tunaombewa na nani? Bernard, unatuombea?
Tutaomba Daktari.
Sawa sawa. Joyce mute. Joyce mute. We are hearing everyone. Sawa sawa.
Okay, let us believe and pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time we have spent together. Thank you for the wisdom and understanding and the love that have guided our conversation. We pray that the words shared today bring healing, clarity, and strength to all the hearts that have been involved in this session. May your peace dwell in us. May your light guide our paths as we move forward. Help us to grow and to forgive and to walk in the kindness and truth. We place all our concerns in your hands and trusting in your perfect will. Help us to understand, help us to even grow in this profession. In Jesus' name, we pray and believe.
Amen.
Amen.
And thank you so much Bernard. Watu wangu msisahau kulipa sasa, najua nitapewa bill soon. Tuanze kulipa. Tuendelee kulipa. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Let's meet next week. Panapo majaliwa.
Have a good evening too.
Thank you. And have a good night.
Rose, and thank you all of you.